So this is our office. I just used it and replaced the access point, the Wi-Fi access point, with Zigbee coordinators. So this is just a generic access point that I removed the Wi-Fi from it and added Zigbee technology. So now it's using Zigbee and it's having the operator name as coordinator. So at least I could separate, and then I can select the channel. In this case, this one is using channel 25. So Zigbee in 2.4 gigahertz is using channels from 11 to 26. And so now you could select which channel you want to see to avoid interference between the different coordinator and interference with the 2.4 Wi-Fi. So a Zigbee designer or Wi-Fi engineer should know which channel to use to avoid that interference. So if I do that, I could run prediction map. So I have the RSSI map to know what coverage I have. Usually the target coverage is around neg 80, neg 85. So with 6 coordinator, I'm good. Best server, to I know which gateway is covering which area. I have maximum achievable data rate. In Zigbee, the data rate is fixed. As soon as your signal level is higher than a certain threshold, you get 250 kbps. So that's not a big deal. And then you have service count. That's important if you're doing any location services. You need at least 3 coordinators to locate a device. And then you have the SNR, which is basically the RSSI minus the noise level. And if I want to see an end device, let's say I have a sensor here, whatever, like a humidity sensor, temperature sensor, whatever, Zigbee device or lights or anything, then I could run that separately. And I see the uplink for like this device here, this end device here. And I just created that on the database based on just a generic signal source, generated 2.4 Zigbee on a specific channel. And then you would be able to see what are the different sensors, if they could reach or not, because the power of the sensor are obviously limited. They could transmit, I believe, maximum 10 dBm or something. So depending on the hardware. But if you rely only on the downlink, you won't be able to see the coverage. You can't assume that the uplink will be the same, because the Zigbee coordinator could transmit up to 23 dBm, I think, so 20 or a little bit higher than 20 dBm. So the coverage on the downlink is higher than on the uplink. So you would be able to validate the coverage for each device. You could combine them and see the entire coverage.